So today is the day that I ride the BMW K1600 GTL LE. Oh yeah. This is a very special day. Today is the day that I ride the ultimate tourer. Can it be true? Let's get into it. Okay, so as you know, I've been on this quest, if you like, to either stick with my Harley Davidson Sport Glide and add money to it, to upgrade it, let's say, or whether I trade everything in and go for a bike that's really touring, commuting capability, adaptable, good for solo riding, two-up riding, long distance, short distance, all that kind of stuff. An all bike for the road, right? That's what I'm kind of looking for. Now, I've ridden the K1600B Grand America. Wasn't really to my liking. That is the modern version with a TFT screen. I was going to ride a GTL here with the TFT screen, but they just didn't have one. So I thought, you know what, there's not a lot of difference between the previous version in terms of engine. A little bit, a few tweaks here and there, but the biggest difference is the TFT screen. I believe the brand new one has got LED lighting, it's got bulb lighting, but essentially there's not a lot of difference between it. So I thought, you know what, just to get a real good feel for it, hey, let's go and try one a couple of years old. And actually there's a lot of great value here. For about 15-16 grand you can get this with about 3,000 or 4,000 miles on the clock, and I could trade in my Harley if they give me a decent price. That's yet to be determined. Add a bit of money which I was already going to throw to my Harley, and I could get this. Okay, so what do I think of it? This is an absolute monster of a bike. You ping it in road mode, in dynamic mode, you ping it, you have to rev it a little bit, and the power is there, the grunt is there. It's absolutely great. But if you just want a leisurely ride, a touring ride, it's as smooth as silk. Lovely. Now, when I rode the K1600B Grand American and also the K1600 GT SE, I thought the gear changing was a bit snappy, especially when you're using the clutch, and especially at low speeds. And I found this to be a little bit smoother, but it is still there. On the quick shifter with all the bikes, it's silky smooth, going up, ping ping ping, coming down, ping ping ping, absolutely lovely. But on the clutch, it's a little bit snappy. Now, why that is, I do not know, but there you go. It just seems a little bit rough. Let's talk about suspension, because the overall ride is lovely and smooth, beautiful, especially on this GTL here. Really, really nice. When I compare it to the BMW RT, I'm going to have a chat with him, and if you know about this in the comments, let us know. But it must be a different, I think it's a different front suspension setup, because you kind of feel the bumps a lot more. It tends to rattle over kind of rougher road surfaces, where the RT was a lot smoother over those surfaces in my mind. Whilst it hasn't got all the functionality, let's say, of a TFT screen, actually everything on there, you've got a digital display in the center. It's everything you need. You've got all the, you know, rain, road, dynamic and customizable modes. You've got all the features. You've got a separate sat-nav area where you'd have to buy a sat-nav function. You just don't have that Bluetooth connectivity, I don't believe. So whilst a brand new one with that big TFT screen, which is absolutely fantastic, by the way, whilst that have a great deal of benefit, you don't really need it. You've got everything on the previous generation, in my mind, and for the value. Now, in a couple of years time, could you pick up a K1600 with a TFT screen for the same kind of price? Yeah, I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could, right? The thing is this bike for me? The way it rides, I thought, oh, it's a little bit low slung, but the seating position, the rider comfort, even though the bar's a little bit closer to you than on the GT, it's really nice. It's true on this bike, because it's got a lower seat, that taller riders might find it a little bit difficult, a little bit uncomfortable, because the seat is lowered. That means the peg position is exactly the same position, so your knees are a little bit further up. However, you can get peg lowering kits which sort of drop it down by about that much. Also, you can get handlebar risers which rise it up another an inch or so you can overcome it a little bit. But yeah, if you're like a 6'4", 6'5" rider, you may struggle with the comfort level on this. For me, it's absolutely perfect. So for, you know, as I'm saying, this is for me, this is my future bike, or my consideration of a future bike. I could definitely see myself on this, no problem, no problem. It is a lovely bike to ride. Lovely and smooth, lovely in the bends. It's just it's a big old beast. It's a big old heavy lump. So on the open road, it's fine, you don't feel it. You kind of do feel it when you're getting on these back roads, especially really narrow, tight turns and off camber, slow speed. Yeah, you know, you're kind of thinking, well, you know, you really have to watch it because it's a big old beast. I think it's about 100 kilos or 100 pounds. I can't remember what it is. It's a considerable weight difference between this and the RT. So you're kind of talking like a big Harley Davidson type tourer bike type weight compared to a Softail type weight, if you know what I mean. There's a considerable difference, but overall, brilliant bike. Boxes, you can put the helmets in either box, no problem. You could, I think you put minimum one, maybe two in the top box here as well. The GTL comes with a factory fitted top box as well. The GT, I think I made a mistake on the previous video when I said BMW don't produce a top box for the GT. They do, it just doesn't come as a factory fit. You go to your dealership and they put a top box on just like the RT, okay? So it's a BMW box, but it's just not factory fitted. So that's what I should have said. But this comes with it, totally detachable. All the boxes on the top box are totally detachable. There's a little kind of screw cap in the box itself. Undo it, and then you disconnect the electrical wiring to it. It's just like a little clip, bish bash bosh, it's off. So you've kind of got that GT look with a low slung seat, a comfort seat, without the top box. And that's kind of what I was looking for as well. Overall, I'm really impressed with this. I thought that I'd kind of like the GT more because you're kind of in the bike, but having ridden this around, yeah, I like this. I like this a lot more. It's a lot more suited to what I want kind of overall. Yes, it's a big heavy bike, but I'm used to big heavy bikes. That doesn't really bother me. It's long, but not crazy long. I think it'll fit in my garage. That's something I'm gonna have to check as well, but it definitely will fit in my garage. But and it looks the part as well. It looks like a big tourer, which I like. So overall function, form, the way it rides, tick tick tick, if you know what I mean. Now bless them, they're trying to push me towards a brand new bike, and I said, look, I just don't have the money for a brand new bike. And I kind of said it on my videos as well. Obviously it depends on the bike, it depends what the full asking price is of a brand new bike is, but anything like this, I just can't stretch that far. So yeah, I'm gonna have to see now how much my trade-in is on a Harley. It's coming to the wrong time of year to sell, great time of year to buy, what the price differential will be, and could I get a used one of these and with the spec. They've offered me a couple with colors that I'm not too keen on. That's the thing. Might be great buys, but not the right color. I'm looking for a black bike, that's what I really like. So why would I go for a different color, if you know what I mean? Now, if there was a red flag about these, I'm not sure if this is a red flag or not, but over the last sort of couple of weeks, I've seen BMW R18 Transcontinental with 300 miles as a trade-in. I've seen they've got a couple of these. One was with 100 miles, would you believe, 2023, brand new bike, just traded in. They had a demo bike that only had 27 miles. Eventually it sold, but they had it for quite a while. Nobody was riding it. So I just kind of wondered, well, why is nobody riding it? And also, why are people trading them back in straight away? Now, it could be just that people just don't like them, or the ones that have bought them, they thought they'd like them, but soon realised they don't want them. You don't know what personal circumstances are. It could have been a financial issue they had. But still, you know, you've got very low mileage bikes on the market, and they're brand new, and you can get a deal on them. So this is what I'm saying as well. If I like the bike, great, I've got to go for it. Do I necessarily need to go for a brand new bike? Well, you might get a deal. That's the thing, because you know, coming to the end of the month or run up to Christmas, buyer's market, there could be a great deal to be done. But getting a nearly new bike, a used bike a couple of years old, that's where the best deal is going to be, and that's where I'm looking at right now. This bike has got everything. You know, Electronics package, quick shifter, suspension is on point. It's got heated grips, heated seat. It's got all the comforts at home. You are sitting in a bit of an armchair here, and it's lovely. It's lovely to ride. That electric screen that just pops up, pops down, beautiful when you're riding it. Absolutely really nice. You find on the motorway, if you really don't want any wind, you just pop it up to the highest level and you don't really feel anything. If you want a bit of wind in your face, especially with an open face hamper, which I've got, drop it down just an inch or two and you just get a lovely breeze right in your face. And it's going to be great on a scorching hot day as well. Winter protection, this is going to be great. Just like the RT, great, I think. Summer protection, drop the screen down, it's nice and cool, and that's great as well. It's so planted at higher speeds on the dual carriageway and the main roads, great. And it's really, really nice rolling through the bends. Big heavy bike, so it does roll in just like that GT. It just kind of rolls in, so you got to catch yourself. And at slow speed turning, especially off camber, you really got to watch that weight, I think, or certainly I've got to watch that weight. But this is a big decision now, a big decision. I'm coming to that point where I really need to make a decision. And out of all the bikes that have this overall road capability, it is between the BMW K1600 and the RT. The only problem with this, I say, is, and we've already identified it with myself and the guy at the shop, is that with the mileage I'm doing, the higher mileage that I'm doing, this is going to cost me more, because I think there's a major service or 18,000 miles, and that's going to be about £1,000. Whereas the major service on our RT, I think, is at 12,000 miles and it's only £500. So, you know, half the price really. But, you know, overall, this is a fantastic bike. I'm so impressed, so impressed. But is this the bike for me? I definitely think it could be. I definitely think it could be. Again, there are a few other bikes that I am looking at as well, just to make sure that I do my research properly and what I want. Now it's going to come down to finances. Now it's going to come down to, can I afford to trade in my Harley and go for a newer bike? Is it a case that I just can't afford it? I have to stick with my Harley for a little bit longer, or I wait until the spring, maybe when the prices of Harleys have come back up, and I'll get a better deal on this. Decisions, you know, it's a tough place to be really, but as I say, it's a great place to be as well, because I've identified two bikes that would absolutely suit me down to the ground. I still have a leaning towards Harley Davidson as well, in terms of that Road King Special and the Street Glide Special as well, and also whether I stick with my Softail, my Sport Glide, and just put money to it, because I still love it. It's not as if I'm, you know, think it's a crap bike. I love it. This is why it's such a tough decision, you know, because I still love my bike, and if I could keep both, I would, and that's the honest truth, isn't it? I mean, why would I get rid of something that I actually love? That is a riding bike. That is a bike for the road. I like to put miles on a bike, especially with my kind of long distance rides I occasionally do, and I want to get back into endurance rides as well. Perfect. So comfortable all day long on that bike, all day long in that seat. And I can't say that about my Sport Glide, I've got to say. Whilst I've done it, it is painful. This is just a breeze. It's just a breeze. K1600 GTL LE from BMW. Fantastic bike. I'll let you know how I get on. But for now, I'm just going to have a bit more fun on this bike and catch you again in another video. Ta-da!